Boys, great win. Way to dig in. Big GWG. Cheers.
Oh.
Definitely not our best, but we came through in the last 20 and we got to win.
Games. I'm going to go with JMO.
Great pick. Great pick.
We play like that. Wasn't our best. We find a way to win. Doesn't matter. Let's get on a heater here.
Call it after what we've seen recently.
Yeah. Wins are good.
Wins are great.
It is so much different around here. I can't even put into words. It is just completely different. There's a whole new attitude, especially after the, they win a 1-goal game, ending that 13-game losing streak in 1-goal games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. Now that's out of the way. The 11-gamer's done. Everything's going good.
There you go. You continue to build upon it. Streaks are finishing. I'm Sarah Lusky. He's Jamie Thomas. This is another edition of Check-In as we get you set for the 5th and final game of this homestand with the New York Islanders here in town. You mentioned it right there. It was a different type of win. So they finished the winless streak with that decisive 5-1 win against the LA Kings. A different type of win to extend it to 2 games against the New Jersey Devils.
Yep, the grinding type win, or like it looked like. Let's. Scott O'Neill talked about this. It was their 3rd game in 4.5 days or something like that. So you could tell that the legs weren't there, but they scrapped their way through it. New Jersey had the lead in the 2nd period. They kind of came back, tied it up, and then they get the game-winning goal in the 3rd period, courtesy of the 4th line, who just keeps producing. So the top line has not been driving play the last couple of games.
Yeah.
And for them to win those games is so huge. And, just more. Cole Perfetti had a couple assists. He's looking great. That second line starting to really, well, not starting to. It is heating up here. And I think that helps a lot. And then Connor Hellebuyck got out of his funk as well in terms of losses, gets the win against the Devils.
Yes. Great to see so many of you in the chat. Ready? A number of you wishing us, saying hello. Wishing us
yes, nice of them.
Great day. It is really, it's them. He and I are already tired of each other. So it's nice to have so many of you in the chat that are.
It's going to be awesome when you go to Chicago. Just, you've already talked about this.
You
nice bailed the other day. You bailed the other day, so I had some time with Dan.
See, which was great. I hope that all of you enjoyed having the opportunity to not only listen to Dan, but have a number of your questions answered. It was great to be able to have Dan pop in. We have a very busy show today over the next 30 minutes.
Hopefully.
Oh, okay. Fingers crossed. Yeah. This is why. Tell everyone about this show.
Sascha Boumedienne is going to join us.
Hey, 2nd time's the charm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Nick Kypreos from Sportsnet is going to come on. And he's going to talk about should their Jets or not do something before the Olympic break.
Yeah, we caught up with him just a short while ago. We pre-taped with him so that it worked out with his show as well, because he's always very busy with Sportsnet's Kipper and Bourne.
I keep seeing a lot of Bones comments and the thing here.
Let's get to that, because the big news we could say, here's how I was going to. Big news yesterday is that Isaac Phillips gets called up from the Manitoba Moose, but that's not really, no disrespect to Isaac, that's not really the big news. The big news that caught, I think it's safe to say, everybody across the league really by surprise was the fact that Rick Bowness was announced as the new head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Dean Evison getting fired from there as they look to right the ship and save their season. Okay, what was your reaction when you saw that Bones had been hired?
Because I just remembered our last conversation about how he was talking about they were still watching a lot of games.
All the time, he and Judy.
Right, and he felt bad for Judy.
That's right.
I remember that conversation, but I never thought I never thought out of that conversation was going to be like, oh, he's coming back to coaching. So I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, and now it's confirmed. But Nick Kypreos is going to go over that a little bit, and the players talked about that here this morning after the pregame skate. We're not going to hear about that part, but you could see they kind of knew it was coming. Like Josh Morrissey seemed not surprised at all, and he said he went back and forth with Bones via text and had a conversation with him. And I remember, obviously Josh loves Rick Bowness for good reason. He just kind of saw the player that he is today when he got here, and told Josh he's going to be a top 5 defenseman in the National Hockey League, and he has been that and more since Bones took over this team and has since left.
Well, you look at the idea of Rick being able to go into a situation like this, which I haven't watched. I haven't seen if they've had a press conference on it yet. What we haven't, or what this could allow Columbus to do, actually, is you try to get the ship going in the right direction.
Yes.
If there are things that need to be fixed, we know that
We've heard this before.
We know that Rick Bowness can come in, demands accountability, is able to give feedback to the Columbus organization as well about different changes that he thinks might need to be made. And then Columbus, let's presume, given Rick's age, that this is not a long-term fix that they are looking for, that this also gives them potentially the opportunity to wait to see what other coaches are out there or to find the coach that they think is right for it. So anyways, big congratulations to Bones. He is somebody that just bleeds hockey. So I always feel
the passion bucket is very full for Bones.
100%. Which is very impressive, and it's great to see so many people in the chat as well saying how happy they are and how much they love Bones as well.
So we'll hear from Nick on that in a little bit. And Sarah made a very good point in this conversation. I don't want you to repeat it again because it was so good that we're going to save it for when we put up the Nick Kypreos conversation. Should we go over the Islander game first?
Well, why don't we put up quickly projected lines?
Yes,
and then we will go into our conversation with Kipper because we discuss a variety of things. But if you look at what the projected lines are, so with morning skate today, the only person that
don't touch my third line.
The only person that was absent was Neil Pionk. He wasn't on the ice. Gus Nyquist was in his role both as deep pairing and on and special teams. So, I mean, there you can see that it's as a placeholder and that they are expecting him to play tonight. So not expecting to see any changes to these lines. And
then Luke Shen comes back in because Colin Miller got hurt and went on IR as well. So he's day-to-day. That was what confirmed by Scott Arneal. Isaac Phillips has been recalled from the Manitoba Moose, but will not make his NHL debut.
Well, his Winnipeg Jets debut.
But Winnipeg Jets debut, sorry. Yes. So we just talked about this a little bit earlier. Nick Kypreos always on top of things in terms of what's going on with trade chatter around the National Hockey League.
Always entertaining.
Here is our conversation with Kipper. Pleased to welcome to the show from Kipper and Bourne, Nick Kypreos. Before we get going, Nick, on everything that's important going on in the world of hockey, how are you enjoying radio life as opposed to being on television all the time? Like, how's that going for you?
Okay, don't tell the TV people, but I love it. I love it. It is unscripted. It's as natural as you can get. You can tell people you want to throw punch them and no one's offended. How's that?
See, that's radio living. That's living. When you can be that honest with people, that's a special relationship when you could say that and not offend people and not have HR phone you the next day.
Yes.
Exactly. What I imagine is great too, Nick, with radio is that you have the opportunity to tell stories or to elaborate on things and have discussions. Whereas, I mean, television, so often it can be, okay, you've got 20 seconds to make your point or 15. And there's a lot more, I would imagine hard outs in television than there are with radio.
No one would know that more than you guys, but you guys are true professionals. I just fake it. So, to be in that scenario and to do a nice tidy introduction and make your point and wrap it up in a bow. There's some really smooth people out there for sure. And I'm talking to two of them right now. That's not me.
This interview is over. This interview is you've peaked. Everything that needs to be said has been said in the last 2 minutes. So But seriously, I watched Kipper and Bourne yesterday as the news came out that there's been a change in coaching in Columbus with Dean Emerson being out, and in comes Rick Bowness, who has told us many times that he was enjoying retirement.
But also told us that as much as he was doing work on television too, he and Judy would watch games every single night. Yeah. He couldn't take himself away from it. He is a hockey lifer through and through.
So thoughts on the change there, and did you see that coming?
Yeah, no, I did not. It really appeared, and we had Rick a few times on the Real Kipper and Bourne show. It seemed like he was in a really good place, enjoying himself, taking the hockey in. He controlled the doses, how much he wanted to watch, how many times he wanted to go on shows like ours. And he seemed like in a really good place. But you said it best. If it's in the blood, and the most important thing is how much energy he has for it. How much juice does he have to go back in that room and motivate the kids? And he feels like he can do it, and albeit, it seems to be like a short stint here. I don't think he's in it for the long run here. But Columbus, like Winnipeg, as you guys know, at certain points when he became the head coach, they were in need of some structure. They were in need of some accountability. There was some things going on behind the scenes with certain players that needed cleaning up. He did all that for Winnipeg, and he got them to the next level. That's what Columbus Blue Jackets want out of Rick Bowness, the exact same model of go in there, clean up a few things, and then let's see where we're at the end of the season.
Well, and I think he does such a good job of it. And you mentioned what he did here. And I said from the moment that he arrived in Winnipeg, that there must be something very liberating about being able to walk in and he knows what he believes a team needs, clean things up, the type of structure and culture that a team needs in order to have success, and to know that you are at a point in your life where you are not coaching for your next job. So you can maybe be blunter or than you might be if you were, say, 50 and looking to, still have a very long career in the league. So I wish him nothing but the best, because I think everybody loves Rick Bowness around the league. He's one of the best guys.
So Nick, like you just wrote recently about 6 days ago about what's going on in the trade thing that's going around the league. As we get closer to the Olympic break, what teams are you following? What teams are you paying attention to ahead of the trade deadline?
Well, this is a really unique season for the NHL, the condensed schedule, guys, as we know, and then the Olympic break where things shut down, and then also the fact that teams cannot, even through the Olympic break, take their eye off of what their current teams need. Never before have we seen from first to worst so tight. And I think all of these teams have aspirations of trying to get into the playoffs, and whether or not, if you can get in, can you envision yourself getting hot and being in a scenario where you find yourself in a conference final or a Stanley Cup final? I think we've never had more teams envision that, which makes it a little tougher to understand if we have buyers and sellers at this point.
Right.
I would imagine we've got 26, 28 potential buyers, but to pull the trigger now, although some teams may think that they want to get into the market early, I think what happens now, if you're trying to think that you're going to get ahead of the market, you're finding pieces very expensive right now. And why wouldn't they be expensive? Why wouldn't Craig Conroy right now have a very expensive price for Kadri? Everybody wants centermen. There's not enough of them out there. And Kadri would be a perfect guy for a number of teams, from contending to a team that could be on the outside looking in, like a Buffalo Sabres. So it's just a matter of timing now. I think it's still early, despite what we hear and feel out there in terms of going into an Olympic break. Calgary doesn't like the offers right now, or teams don't like what the asking price is for Kadri with Calgary, for instance. They seem to be the team that we're kind of watching the most, to answer your earlier question, Jamie, on players like Anderson and Kadri. And the one that they're getting asked the most on is Blake Coleman as well.
Do you think with the Olympics, I wonder as well, I mean, so many teams are obviously in the mix, but with so many marquee players that are going over to play there, and injuries could potentially happen. And I mean, we've seen a number of injuries just happen in the last couple of weeks to players. You think of even Braden Point last night, and not knowing what their status is going forward, that you don't want to make a move too early as well, because what if a player gets injured, or what if, heaven forbid, something like that significant happens that might change maybe the course of what a team would be looking for going forward.
Yes, Sarah, you're 100% right. Timing is everything here. I talked to a couple of teams that have mentioned Kadri to me, and they're like, well, what happens if we trade for him and then we miss the playoffs? Are we where Calgary is 1 year later, looking at a guy that's closer to 40 than he is 30?
Yeah.
And now with a couple of more years on his contract, do we want to take that contract on if we're still a non-playoff team? So they're not ready to do anything just as of yet. I think there needs to be a clear line in the sand right now. And we probably got 12, 14 teams still going undecided.
One more before we let you go, buddy, is listen, the ship's kind of righted here a little bit. There was 11 consecutive losses. Now there's 2 straight wins. Does it make any sense for Kevin Cheveldayoff to do anything right now before the aforementioned Olympic break?
No, it doesn't. And I'm not even sure if it's going to make sense in 2 weeks or a month from now.
Right.
We hear Luke Shen out there. Could you get back a pick for him? And yeah, absolutely. There's somebody's going to take Luke Shen. There's someone that's going to want more depth on the blue line, even if he comes in as a 7th defenseman. Guys get hurt. We know that. But to do anything drastic right now, like, they're not the worst team in the league. They're not a bottom feeder. They're not. They're just a team that's, for whatever reason, find themselves in a very tough position. Can they look for a Hail Mary right now and be a Buffalo Sabres where they ring off 10, 11 games in a row? I don't know. It's a crazy league. It's an unpredictable league. You got a great goaltender. I'm not saying it's impossible, but probably improbable. But this is also a team that can come back next season and not only make the playoffs, but find themselves going deep again. That's the world we're in. That's the league that we're in right now. So I don't see Kevin Cheveldayoff, knees buckling anytime soon when it comes to the trade market.
Nick, appreciate the time as always, man. Thanks so much for doing this. And I'm so glad that you're having a good time in radio, and you've said all the reasons why that is the case. And also, I'm happy for that you don't have to go over to Italy during the Olympic break and you get a true break as well.
Yes. Always fun hanging out with you guys.
Thanks so much, Nick. Hope to see you soon.
Okay.
There he is, the big guy.
Do we know Nick's take on soup? It's a huge oversight tonight. We should ask everybody that.
I think we need a soup jingle now and like a graphic to start doing this, because it's become such a big part of our lives.
Yes.
It's become part of the conversation.
And it's soup season.
Yeah,
This actually was a separate group conversation that we had going with some
that's
of us in the office.
That's why I love our viewers, because they stay true to their form.
100%.
And ask the right questions. So we're going to wait for Sascha Boumedienne here real quick.
Okay, but let's talk about this game here tonight with the Islanders coming in. So they're 25, 15, and 5. They're sitting second in the Metro, 6-2-2 in their last 10 games. This is the first time since 2020 that they have been they've been at this point with this sort of points percentage. They're at 611 this late into the season. So they have been firing on all cylinders recently. Big reason, Ilya Sorokin in net has been Vezina worthy. He's been outstanding. And then also,
sometimes I think about, like, if Russia was in the Olympics, I think they would be a problem based on their goaltending alone.
Yeah.
And Sorokin can be a big part of that too. I know Shesterkin's out right now, but man, this
Sorokin's
unbelievable.
Perfect time to put a stop to it tonight. But there's lots of speculation about how he's one of the front runners to be considered for the Vezina, and then for the Calder, which of course goes to your Rookie of the Year. There is no doubt that the conversation centers around Matthew Schaefer. Yeah,
Josh Morrissey was asked about this earlier today. So here's Morrissey on that, and then of course Scott O'Neill on facing the Islanders.
Yeah, it's special. I think obviously everyone started to hear about him as the years progressed, and tried to watch a bunch of their games throughout the season. And I mean, yeah, he's a special player. What he's doing as an 18-year-old defenseman is remarkable, and he's so dynamic, all over the ice. So he's going to be a great player for a long time. And I think to think he's only 18. It's pretty scary.
The game tonight, would it be something along the lines of what you faced last Tuesday against Vegas and Friday against Los Angeles in terms of heavy and every inch of ice has to be earned?
Yeah, it's kind of been like one after the other, the opposite, right? We've been going against speed, and then we're going against some, sort of heavy groups, and the Islanders are in that category. Obviously, they're playing, some good hockey, and they're getting wins, and they're right in the middle of that thick of things in the East there, and getting great goaltending. So another challenge for us, and getting these heavy games, like I've always said, that you got to do it more than they try to do it. You got to play on the inside. You can't get caught on the outside, and it's a grind.
All right, so we'll talk more about the Islanders matchup. We just heard Josh Morrissey talk about Matthew Schaefer, but there is another member of the 2025 draft class joining us live here on the pregame show, and he's got something weighing on his neck and on his shoulders. I think it's like a gold medal or something. And it's Sascha Boumedienne joining us now. Are you, like, before we get into talking about you, can you believe the performance that Matthew Schaefer is putting up? You're part of the draft class, but did you see this coming in his rookie year after being in the same draft class with him?
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive, obviously, what he's done. And yeah, I didn't get the chance to see him play too much. Obviously, he played in Canada, played in the OHL, and me playing in the US here. So I didn't get the chance to see him too much, and obviously he got hurt and kind of was out that last year. But yeah, it's pretty impressive having that guy. He's always obviously the same age as me, and yeah, it's pretty cool to watch. So yeah, he has a huge impact on not only the Islanders, but obviously the whole NHL too. So it's pretty cool.
Sascha, what is it like to have ended Sweden's 14-year drought at the World Juniors for a gold medal? The country's come so close so many times at the event, but to nail that gold medal down, how good does it still feel today?
Yeah, it feels unreal. It still feels like, yeah, it's a little surreal. I don't really know if it's settled in really yet. It's obviously we always have a good team. The Swedes, we're always up there. We're always pretty good, but obviously haven't been able to get the chance to win it. So yeah, I think we've had 3 golds in 50 years. So which is pretty crazy. So being able to get that 3rd one and be a part of that group is really something special.
I can't play the video of the celebration afterwards in the interview with you, but it's so funny, and I wish we could bleep it out. But I think that was a great showing of Alphonse Frey's personality, because he came up to you while you're in an interview and he said how you guys closed out the deal. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but is that a good example of Alphonse's personality?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone loves Alphonse. He's an outgoing guy, and he's yeah, great teammate, and obviously an unreal hockey player too. So it's a pretty good showing of his personality, and yeah, a great buddy of mine. So it was fun to be able to do it with him.
Well, not only did you win gold, but you scored the eventual the gold medal winning goal against the Czechs. The Czechs have been kind of a thorn in the side of Canada for a very long time now at the event, but they did not go away after you guys made it 3-0. They sure made it interesting, but how good was it to lock it down and then also be the guy that scored the gold medal winning goal?
Yeah, something you dream of as a kid, obviously, like Stanley Cup winning goals and World Junior winning goals. It's something when you're out there shooting with your friends. It's something you want to do. So being able to have the chance to do it is pretty cool. And yeah, obviously, like you said, the Czechs, they didn't go away. We were up 3-0, but they made it 3-2 pretty quickly when they pulled their goalie there. So but yeah, being able to lock that in and those last few seconds felt pretty good. So it was pretty special.
And listen, the Finns didn't make it easy on you guys either in the semis. Like, you realize how close the margin of error is in an event like this. That must make winning goals so satisfying, considering how good a harder time Finland gave you and how hard a time the Czechs did.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the Finland game was really tough. It's kind of stressful, and like we went into that shootout, and obviously, like you said, yeah, the margins are really small. Like if our captain doesn't score that at the end there, they obviously win. He had to score that, and then yeah, probably our MVP Anton Frandell goes out and scores the shootout winner, and can't forget our goalie, obviously, who does a really good job. So yeah, really small margins, but I felt like the right team ended up on top.
I don't want to say you predicted it beforehand, but when I talked to you before the tournament started, you just said that it was a special group. Did you have the feeling, like you said it, but you must have felt it, that this was the right team to get the job done?
Yeah, 100%. There was definitely something special in our group, definitely a spark there where we felt like right when we got there, we felt like we could win. And yeah, I felt like we're such a tight group. We've been together for a really long time, and like Sweden's not the biggest country, so I've known most of those guys since I don't know, I was probably 7 or 8 years old, probably half the team. So just summer camps and stuff like that, getting to know them. So I feel like the main reason we were so good and stuck together were because we knew each other so well off the ice. So yeah, it was really good group, and I felt like we knew we had something special right from the start.
Okay, so now you're moving on to Boston University. The second half of the season has started. How much have you heard from Jimmy Roy and, of course, Mike Keenan in the Jets development department? And what are they asking you to work on this year?
Yeah, just keep growing my all-around game. I talk to them all the time, and try to use my skating, getting up the ice, and obviously defending too. I feel like my skating is my biggest asset. So just trying to close off areas using my lengthiness and my stick to defend, and then obviously get up ice and try to join the offense. So really all areas of the game, and yeah, really continue to be that two-way defenseman who can help all over the ice.
Okay, last one before we let you go. Where's the gold medal, and what are you plan on doing with it afterwards?
Do you wear it to class all the time?
Yeah.
Is really
I would totally do that.
He 100% would.
And I just walk up, gold medal. Sorry, I didn't mean to punch you in the face there, but gold medal. That's what I would do. So what is the story here?
I don't know. Well, my gold medal is in my room right now. I don't know where it'll end up. It'll probably end up with my parents sometime, but I don't know. They'll probably have to take care of it. But yeah, it'll be on a wall somewhere someday. I don't know as of right now. It just happened. So I haven't really had the time to think about it. But as of right now, it's in my room.
Okay. Sascha, wish you all the best. Thanks so much for joining us today, and good luck the rest of the year with Boston University. And we're looking forward to seeing you in the summer again.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Not every day you have a gold medalist on the show. So back to the game itself.
Well, first, and thanks, Sascha, for joining us. It was great to be able to. What a great interview. He's going to be.
I think he's going to be a lot of
fun.
I think he's thinking about walking around with the classroom and just going like this. Do you have one of these? I don't think so.
For it.
And whip around the gold medal, go around like this? That's what I would do. Since I've never won one.
Not that Jamie's thought about this.
No, I've never thought
all.
about winning. See, I love our viewers. Always thank the guests. Then that's the best part.
Yeah, 100%. But looking forward to having him around. You can tell even just from that short interview what a great personality he has.
Yeah, it'll be. I look forward to the day, of course, when he joins, plays for the Jets as well. Mm-hmm. But man, he's a great conversationalist. It's gonna be fantastic when we have him back at development camp, and a big part of the Jets' future.
Yes,
but we are not talking about the future anymore.
No, talking about the game here at hand. We heard Scott O'Neill just before Sascha popped on with us talk about how Kelly Moore had asked him about what he expects this game to look like, and that it is going to be a heavier game, more in line of what you see against Vegas and LA, not so much the Edmonton style. And so when you think about that sort of matchup, do you think that bodes well for the Jets in terms of the style of play?
Yeah,
matching up.
Yeah, I think so, and it's good to bounce around in different styles of play, right?
Yeah.
And I am, the Oilers are obviously that team that just goes up and down the ice, a lot of speed. Same with the Devils, lots of talent there, not a lot of physicality, but I love physical games. So the Jets are always ready for that type of stuff, and there's not really many heavy games, and they had that with the Kings, but there wasn't Anze Kopitar. A real pain in that department. So I thought they fared well against the Kings, and I think they'll fare well against the Islanders tonight. But man, the Islanders are playing their best hockey since Patrick Roy took over, and I know a big part of that is on the back end. And I saw him. Of course, we're talking about Matthew Schaefer scoring that overtime winner against the Leafs on home ice, and they love him on Long Island. And it's been so long since the Islanders, I think, have had a star of that stature. And I know he's only 18. But it feels like they haven't had one of those in quite some time.
And I feel as if he's a different type of. So he's obviously the next generation.
Yeah. Yes, we are built for a heavy game. Correct, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I feel as if also personality-wise, he seems very different than, say, John Tavares, who to me was the last one that they had. So certainly being embraced by him there, and I love the post-game interviews that they give, and you have the opportunity to see a lot of personality. And I personally, I love Islanders fans, having done a number of games in the old Nassau.
That's one of the buildings I've never been to.
Oh, it was something I think I've said to you before that. So when the Islanders and the Penguins played in one of the playoff years, I can't remember which one, and Pittsburgh ended up.
I've covered so many playoffs.
No, but I just don't remember which.
Yeah.
I just don't remember which year.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I know what day of the week it is today.
Fair.
And you notice I didn't say what day of the week it is because I'm not totally confident that I know.
I will help you. It's Tuesday.
But the fans, I mean, it's such a blue collar fan base.
Yeah.
And it was a ton of fun. I love that sort of atmosphere.
I want the Islanders and Rangers to kind of need to get their act together because I'll never forget I went to the Super Bowl in New York.
Oh, speaking of dropping. Wow.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
And Craig McEwen, of course, now with the Vancouver Canucks, and he's with Sportsnet. He's like, we're going to go see the Islanders and Rangers tonight at MSG. And I said, no, and I regret it.
Oh.
That was dumb.
It was.
Yeah, I'm looking back on it. Anyways,
enough about me again. Regrets.
So many
He's
regrets.
had a few.
Yeah, but
okay, we're going to wrap. Let's just quickly take one more look at the projected lines. Luke Shen drawing back into the lineup.
For a heavy game. So
yeah, Neil Pionk did not practice this morning or did not take part in the morning skate, but he is expected to be a go. Connor Hellebuck will get the call in net, and your lines up front stay the same. Amongst all of them, the most important is that Jamie's third line remains untouched. And so they can continue to have success, but it is great to be able to see that bottom six contribute the way that they have and to alleviate some of the pressure that we were seeing on that top line in order to produce. And hopefully they're able to do it again tonight. And they still have their 9 points back of LA, who currently sit in that second wildcard spot. So a lot of work to be done, but look, they needed to get on a bit of a roll. And hopefully we saw pond hockey is the way that it was kind of described in the game against Jersey. Hopefully we see a little bit of a cleaner game and a win here tonight.
I got one last one before we go.
All right.
Throw up this comment first. Winnipeg Jets goal is 70th of the season, scored by number 78, Sascha Boumedienne. Fans, boo. That's awesome.
You know what? We should have, next time we have Paul on, Paul Edmonds on, we'll ask him because Dan would be great. But Dan, I don't think, he just has a different type of call than what Paul would have. So, we'll have to ask Paul.
When are you out of town again? Like when do you go out of town and you can't do the show with me? 20-something-ish?
Yeah, next Saturday.
Next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
We're going to be Paul on.
Okay.
I mean, he has to agree to it. I should probably ask him first.
He's next door. He might be watching right now. We'll wait and see if he pops into the comments.
My favorite question from him is, what time's check-in again?
But then we said, Paul, you've subscribed, so you always know, and you get your notifications that we're about to start at 12:30.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, this was fun. Thanks so much for all of you in the chat to be joining us. Oh, Paulie will add a rasp to the boo part. Oh, you guys think about the GoPro shots and the celebrations that we will see and the energy from Paul Edmonds.
I wonder if Paul ever knew that he'd be on GoPros all the time.
I know.
So many shots. I don't think he knew that.
I mean, it's a good thing.
For a radio guy to be on television, it's a great day.
All right. All right. Winnipeg Sports Talk be starting now because it is a weekday. We've established that.
Yeah.
So
someone said it was Wednesday. That confused me.
There's a little bit of panic. Yeah, you know that Huss and Rooms will be talking more and helping set you up for tonight's game as well. But looking forward to this one. You can always listen to the game on CJOB. The pregame show gets going with Kelly Moore as well a couple hours beforehand. And then tonight's game is on TSN. So hopefully, if you are not coming down to Canada Life Center, which we think you should,
probably
if
should,
you are not able
bring
to
both Paul and Dan on the show together.
Oh,
we have a very tiny set. It's very tiny.
If you aren't able to,
I'll be like this between everybody.
Our TSN pregame show gets going at 6:30, so make sure to tune in.
Thanks everybody for watching.
We will see you on Thursday when the Jets head out on the road. They are playing in Minnesota, Central Division matchup.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Okay, enjoy the game.
Super duper.
Bye, everyone.